defeat Tennessee. We turned the lights out on them in their own blackout. I'm Steve.
Lucas.
Jay.
Special thanks to Tobacco Exchange, our post-game sponsor. Always dependable, great locations throughout the metro area, Edmond, Oklahoma City, and more. Best staff.
Excalibur Black. The Moore location is doing a buy two get one free deal still. So go by there and hook it up.
It's a great cigar.
Victory cigars.
It's a victory cigar, baby.
Alabama,
Beautiful.
and Tennessee have their tradition of those victory cigars. And tonight we're doing our own against Tennessee.
I like it. Let's do it. Well, tonight was a night that was a lot of high stress. I don't think that
You
was
were stressed?
I was stressed. I was real stressed. There was a lot of reason to believe we weren't going to pull it out, and yet we stayed right with them the entire game. We had tremendous special teams play out of Sandale. The field goals, we got to talk a lot about that. We got to talk about the fact that defense came through and created turnovers in just spectacular fashion.
Missing two key players.
Yeah, I mean, one of them we go out on the longest scoop and score in Sooner history to then lose one of our best defensive players, and yet the defense stayed with it and really did the job down the stretch, holding Tennessee to field goal attempts, which they missed in some cases, holding them out of the end zone. Just tremendous effort. Offense left a lot to be desired, and that's where the stress came in. First half was just pathetic.
Yeah.
Second half was better, but there were problems, and we'll talk about that. But what are your overall takeaways from the game?
Run the damn ball. That's my takeaway from the game. We've proven Stat Guy probably doesn't have his phone.
I don't know
but I'd like to know what Robinson's yards per carry were. He didn't have the giant run like he did last week, but I mean, it still had to be 5 yards a carry in this game. We ran the ball with Mateer more, and he was good at picking up chunk yardage. Better today. Yeah. I mean, look, he looked more like he did the first couple games.
Robinson, 115 yards on 16 carries, 7.2 average.
Wow, dang.
With a touchdown and really two touchdowns, unfortunately for him. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
So, to me, on just offensively, the first half was completely stagnant. The defense was the one getting us the ball in good field position, and Sandell was booming it from 55, and 51 and 40. I mean,
record for OU.
You can't ever complain about that dude because he's been making.
I'm cutting my shorts off. I mean, I'm going Daisy Dukes the whole way the rest of the season.
But outside of him kicking the long field goals, the offense, we have 96 yards at halftime or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not good enough at anywhere, much less Oklahoma.
Well, not at the level of football we want to be playing, and honestly, not at the level of football where you're 7-2.
And we can talk about the second half after we abuse the first half offense.
Let's do that. Let's abuse the first half offense because it has a lot of problems. Jay, what are your overall takeaways in the game before we jump into that?
Like you just mentioned, the first half offense was just too putrid. It was shocking to have a halftime lead. To be completely,
it really was.
It was.
Well, it was a defensive halftime lead because we had the scoop and score and
7
3
points
field goals
and a couple field goals
and long field goals.
What was the score? 16-10? Yep.
I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
For once.
Even with the lead at halftime, I did not think we would win this football game.
I didn't either.
Oh, I didn't either at all. No, I had strong doubts about our ability to win.
I mean, they were out gaining us in every offensive statistical category.
They were just pitch and catch up and down the field.
Well,
they had 40 plays to our 24 in the first half.
I thought the defense was going to get completely exhausted.
Yeah,
because we could not sustain drives whatsoever.
Well, you can't. You know, you're going up against a really good offense, and you can only keep them at bay for so long. Yeah. At some point, they're going to start punching it in, and they did in the their opening drive of the second half. We'll get to the second half in a minute.
By a terrible penalty.
But I had the same
on the first drive.
The same thought. Now, on the first drive of the first half, just a terrible.
I got penalty. A PI. There was a little bit of back and forth, but the ball was overthrown.
No, that tight end
have been a PI.
Ran straight into the chest of our defender, and our defender grabbed on for
and the ball was thrown over his head, so it went the other way. Yeah, that was a bad call. The fact that I don't know how many tackles for loss that we recorded tonight. It was another phenomenal game.
Yeah, agreed.
A phenomenal sack total. and yet no holding calls at all.
Zero. Not a
holding
single
call.
holding call.
How can that be?
Insane.
I mean, we're watching the game and I'm seeing it again and again and again and
Probably
again.
the best defensive line in the entire country,
Mhm.
and they cannot get a holding call.
Yeah, how is that possible? How, like, everyone's doing a great job and then a horrible job and letting it go?
Tackles for loss,
Yeah.
multiple blitzes, leaving our defenders on an island, and 0 holding calls.
And our guys are bull rushing and they're getting held, and at some point they're throwing their hands up to show the
Yeah,
refs, because
yeah.
you see it all over.
Right.
College football, you see it in the NFL. When you're getting held enough, you keep throwing your arms up and they're going to actually see it and call it, and still no call.
If they're legitimately missing
Dominic
it.
Williams, Grayson Halton, David Stone, over and over and over getting held, no calls. It's beyond a conspiracy at this point.
It's awful. I don't know. It's gross incompetence at best, and that's a pretty bad at best. So that's frustrating.
LDR Mason Thomas, when he picked it up, he was getting held.
He was getting held, and then he got face mask.
He picked it up with his right arm,
and then
because his left arm was
who's
being held.
who's he's fighting off is face masking him, and they didn't call any of that. And so then you get David Stone for a roughing the passer, where it's just a completion of the play. He does give a little bit of shove. So okay,
I mean, he
maybe.
came down. He was trying to block the pass, and he came down with his arm, and he hit him in the-
and then
it
he
hit the side
followed
of his
through
helmet.
a little bit. But we saw in the fumble of Robinson, it was a punch out where he threw a punch, which you're not supposed to be able to do.
hit him in the face.
Hit him in the face,
and then
man.
hit his hand. Yeah.
And so that's a problem.
Peyton Bowen interception. He runs it back 30 yards or 35 yards or whatever.
Yeah,
He goes down
talk
on the
about that.
ground. Tennessee guy comes up to him after the whistle's blown. He's got both knees and arms on the ground. He runs up and just tries to punch the ball and hits him in the thigh.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seconds after the play is over. No 15-yard penalty on that. And I want to say that was the one right before the half, right? So
Yes.
we end up kicking a field goal before the half.
Right.
That would have given us 15 more yards. We might have been able to score a touchdown
punch it in.
before the half.
Or an easier field goal.
Yeah.
Or regardless, it's a penalty. And
Every
you're supposed to
field
call it.
goal is easy for Tay Sandell.
Yeah, it's true. But you're supposed to call the penalties
Yeah.
when they're like that. And that one's egregious. That one's the kind of thing that empties benches and gets things started.
They're busy yelling at us
Oh.
for sideline warnings
Yeah,
and all kinds
exactly.
of crap, but they're not paying attention to what's happening in the trenches.
It's really tough when you have to fight both the opposing team and the officiating. It's just really tough. So I go into halftime like you guys. I had a pretty disappointing Homer halftime take on X. And I honestly, one of the things I said was, is it time to bench Mateer? And I think Jay was the biggest advocate of it's time to bench Mateer. Now, he came out and had a better second half, but it wasn't great. We'll get to some critical mistakes down the stretch later on. But when you look at the fact that he's not willing and able to throw the ball downfield, what's going on with that? I mean, at some point, you can't win a football game if your quarterback can't and won't do that.
It's not sustainable.
They're showing some of the sky cam footage, and there's not a lot of separation, but he's also not anticipating the receivers making the break and throwing them open. So that's what we talked about going into the season that Jackson Arnold never did.
Right.
He never threw his guys open. He didn't anticipate where they were going to be after the break. He waited until they were open, but the O-line was so bad that you just wait and pat the ball and you're getting sacked.
Mhm.
And Mateer's done some of that off and on this season.
Yeah.
And especially since he's come back from the injuries, seems a little sketchy out there with it. And he's not throwing people open at all.
He's not, but he's also not just throwing the ball across the middle. You're not seeing the slant routes, the shallow post. You're not seeing things that we're getting exploited on and so many other teams are doing. You're not seeing little
We did see in the
swing
second
passes.
half.
We did see in the second half.
Yeah.
And that was not,
And that was put
good to
together.
see.
That was run on first down, get 5 or 6 yards, run on second down, and it's 3rd and 2. And we're throwing those 5-yard passes that are open and getting the first down and methodically trying to go down the field until you do a stupid play on that.
So let's talk about that. Let's transition to that second half and talk about the success that we were seeing. We obviously saw some really good success running the ball. We went away from the run at the wrong times. We would get, 4 or 5 yards on first down or even just 2, and we decide we have to pass the ball on second down rather than put us in a 3rd and 2 situation potentially with how we're running the ball. You saw less of the happy feet, less of the stuff that Mateer is doing where he's sensing pressure that's not it's coming, but it's not there yet. And he's not waiting for it and getting to the point where as you watch any great quarterback play, usually what's going on is the pocket's collapsing, but they're waiting patiently, get the ball released, and they're taking some contact, but it's not interfering with what they're trying to accomplish, and they're getting the ball out of their hands. You saw that in the second half, and it was a little bit better for sure. It was a little bit of the inconsistency in the play calling in the second half that would be one of my major gripes. Definitely some success. Definitely Mateer seeing the field a little bit better, or maybe the play calling was better. But let's talk about something that I think goes overlooked and was really bad. In the first half, we saw this. In the second half, where it was probably more critical, we are getting a play in probably with plenty of time, but not enough time for Mateer to change the play call. And he's coming to the line with about 6 seconds and he's changing the play call. So we got to delay a game in one instance and we had to use critical timeouts in others. Timeouts that you might need in a close ball game. Just really, really bad clock management. And it seems to be on the part of Mateer, other than the fact that the coach might not be telling him, hey, we don't have time for this. You run the play.
It could be a breaking the huddle situation because we did see in the fourth quarter us, even up to when it was like 13 minutes left on the clock, that we were trying to run more methodical offense and run the play clock down, which we've all wanted to see.
Yeah.
The problem is if Mateer is going to be checking out of stuff at the line of scrimmage
in a loud environment,
you can't break the huddle.
Still, as I was told.
You can't break the huddle at 15 seconds and then your guys line up and there's 10 seconds. And then Mateer's got to go down in that environment and try to yell to each offensive lineman what the play call has changed to.
Exactly.
And then you're yelling at a running back to switch to the other side for protection. And then you look up and the play clock's expired.
Yeah.
Or you're having to call a timeout. And we used either 2 or 3 timeouts during the whole game.
3 in the whole game. We used 1 in the first half, 2 in the second half. Just you never know when you might need those. You might need them for a late drive in the first half. Nolan pointed, our stats guy pointed that out. And then in the second half, you know that you're in a tight game and you might need those down the stretch. Luckily, we didn't.
So I do like to see the fact that we weren't planning on snapping the ball around 8 seconds. But if he has the ability to change the protection or like which way if it's a run play, which direction it's going, then you need to be at the line at 15 seconds and not breaking the huddle at 15 seconds. That way you can get that change made and still snap it inside of 5.
You got to have your rhythm down here in the 9th game of the season.
Yeah.
You've got to have that figured out by now. So that was a critical mistake. And it happened repeatedly. You get down to the end of the game and there was some just really weird things that happened. So maybe we fast forward to that to talk about what is frustrating. And I hate to be so critical in a game that we won. And we'll get back and celebrate it. But let's talk about some things where we tried to steal victory from the steal defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
So we are at 4 minutes left in the game, and it is clear that we want to run the football to run clock. And
we're successfully doing it.
And we're very successfully doing it. We're at where were we?
Did we stop them on a 4th down?
Yes.
To start that drive?
Yes.
On our own 20th?
Was that to start that, or was that the next one?
I thought that was to start that drive.
No, the next one they kicked it. Yeah, it was because the next one they kicked a field goal.
So we stop them on 4th down,
and we've driven
the guy just the pass hits the guy in the helmet. Remember?
Yeah.
And he was open, and then so we start. I want to say 20, 25-ish maybe.
Right.
And then we end up going down the field. You know, 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, you pick it up. And it wasn't just like you were. 1st down, you're getting 10 yards, but you're methodically going down the field and
having success
actually doing your 3rd down conversions, which I looked at it earlier. I think we were 4 of 10.
Right.
And I bet
3 of those were on that.
3 of them were on that drive.
We started 1 for 6.
Right.
So that shows how much better we did in the second half to get those up.
And so then you get down inside, what were you down to about their 30? And you're in field goal range.
Yeah, we were close.
But we're still
somewhere between the 40 and the 30.
We're still running the ball well. And it comes to 1st down.
First down. And I said, it's obvious you're going to run the ball. They know you're going to run the ball.
And they still can't stop you.
And they can't stop you. And I joked, they're going to pass the football. And sure enough, they passed the damn ball. They got cute. They got too clever by half. Outsmarted themselves. Yeah, it just
on a slant route.
On top of everything that frustrates me is it's a weird slant route that's covered. It's not like if you remember back when we were playing Oklahoma State and we were in the type of game like this when we didn't have as good of a defense and we caught them napping with a tight end over the middle and he runs for a touchdown. And James Sanders, that's right. And so that was the kind of opportunistic thing you can do. There was nothing opportunistic about this. And maybe you blame the quarterback some that he shouldn't throw the ball once he sees that they've covered it.
I mean, on that route, you're looking to pick up 4 yards,
Right.
but you're
What's
getting
4 yards?
5
You're
and 6
getting-
yards of carry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you got to catch the ball to get those
Yeah.
yards versus if you run and don't get the 4, but get the 2, the clock's running.
Or if they get a hand up and knock it down and
Mhm.
it just goes incomplete,
Yeah.
you're killing the clock
Yeah.
at that point because
Just
you're
stupid.
stopping it.
Just
There's no
stupid.
reason to not run the ball
Greedy and
at
stupid.
least on the first down and probably the second down.
And then when you have your options, saying, well, we want the first down, depending on down or yardage,
Which
then maybe
he was
you throw
doing
the
well
ball.
throwing the little out route for like 5 or 6 yards.
Right.
But that would be on 3rd and 4 or whatever.
Yeah, not when you have the luxury of running the ball.
Yeah. And you're trying to kill clock.
Very, very frustrating that we chose to do that.
And
So,
it goes down as interception.
yep. So he gets an interception. They go down, kick the field goal, and probably arguably should have kicked the field goal earlier.
No, they scored the touchdown on that drive.
No, they kicked a field goal.
They scored a touchdown.
I scored a touchdown over the middle in the end zone.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And then they onside kick.
Then they onside kick, miss it.
Yeah.
That's right. And then we go down and
And we scored the touchdown.
we score the touchdown.
Robinson
Right.
breaks from Neal, goes down on like
Right.
the-
So let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about the fact that they should have kicked a field goal a lot earlier to have a better chance of getting an onside kick and doing something different. So we get a breakaway run for a touchdown, or should have been, by Robinson, and gets to the 1 inch, goes down. It was another instance of really not knowing what to do because there was too much time left in that game. You need the 9-point advantage. I think you just go into the end zone and get the sure points.
I don't. I think they did the right thing.
I don't
Because
think so.
They forced Tennessee to burn a timeout.
They didn't.
They did.
No, they didn't.
No, Tennessee called a timeout right
No,
then.
No.
They did.
They did.
While they started reviewing the play, they called a timeout.
Well, then they called one. Well,
Yeah, they used one
could have
timeout.
made them
They
use
had 2
two.
timeouts left.
Yeah, we could have made them use 2.
Yeah,
We should have downed the ball and
Yeah.
then gone in.
exactly.
Yes. And so we
On
made a
second
mistake
down.
doing that.
Mateer-
and
Mateer
left
walks
them-
in the
and
end
left them a
zone.
timeout.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think going down was the
I
right
don't think
thing
so.
because you didn't have enough time to run the rest of the clock out, but you should be able to punch it in from the
Should be able
yard
to.
line.
Should
So
be
you make
able
them burn
to.
the timeout.
That's
I would
not
have
good
kneeled
enough.
it. I would have kneeled it on the next one and made
No.
it burn their other timeout and then punched it in on the second down.
Theoretically punch
And
it
if
in.
they stopped you, then you get 3rd down
I
and then
agree.
you punch it in.
I agree. If you punch it in.
Yeah.
The problem is that's counting your chickens before they're hatched. I think you take the sure points. There's too much time left of everything that can happen. No matter what, you're going to give them the ball back with over a minute to go. You might
But
as
then they
well
would
give
have
them
no
the ball
timeouts.
back. Sure, no timeouts.
Yeah.
But you're going to give them the ball back with a 9-point deficit
Yeah.
versus a 3-point deficit. And yeah, they have to go the length of the field, but still they'd have to go the length of the field to just get a field goal to tie
Yeah.
it.
I don't think this team was going to go line stand us.
Probably
if
not, but
if
I
you
don't.
kneel it on the
I don't
first
like that
down and
gamble.
make them burn
I
that
don't like that
last
gamble.
time out, then on the second down, you can punch it in. You would have burned.
Well, then it's
5 more seconds
inexplicable
off
that
the
you
clock or
don't down the
whatever.
ball.
Yeah, that's what didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
They looked like they told Robinson to go down and then they used the 1 timeout,
Yeah, I don't
but
think
then
they
you
knew enough
immediately
what was
punched
going
in on the next down.
Honestly, I
It
don't.
didn't make sense to me,
I honestly I don't.
but it all
think
worked
so.
out.
It did all work. Well, that all did work out until they kicked. They
Because-
did 2 really
because-
good
yeah.
onside kicks that didn't
Yeah.
work for them that we covered. We did a great job on the kick coverage. Give us credit for that for sure. They go down and then actually they should have kicked the field goal earlier. They're down by 9 with like whatever it was, 47 seconds or something. They should have kicked the field goal then rather than try to only kick the field goal later
Down.
and then have less time to work with.
Yeah.
So I think it was Josh Heupel making a critical mistake there. He seemed to be confused about the fact that the clock would stop before the 2-minute warning
Out of bounds.
when you go out of bounds and they spot the ball. The only thing I could see there is they may have started the clock, never stopped the clock. I don't know if they waited till the
They stopped it at 2:06 and then they spotted
2:08,
the
I thought,
ball.
but
And then
It was real
before they
quick.
could run the play,
It was real quick.
It was down to 2.
like so yeah, that was probably a mistake on his part of just not understanding what's going on there. Other than that, there was a little bit of home cooking on the clock one time when it didn't start and it really should have.
Yeah.
And there was a few seconds it didn't run off. But I'm not upset about that. I am upset about the officiating and what I saw was I thought just critically bad
I agree.
officiating time after time after time in that game. Bad bad calls that we get bailed out with a few instances. I mean, if we don't get these turnovers that we got in this game, and some of them were not, they were the kind of turnovers we've been wanting that haven't seen forever. Like it's impossible, where they're really just throwing bad balls, real ill-advised decisions on Aguilar's part. That
I think on the
That was a
going, he
blessing.
just didn't see him playing center field. And he thought he had a
Mhm.
one-on-one with that guy and threw
Right.
it up, and oh crap, there's Peyton Bowen intercepting
Yep.
it. And then the second one was who intercepted the second one? RSJ.
RSJ, yeah.
RSJ,
Right.
that was just a bad ball. He
Who
just overthrew him. I
who
think.
didn't run real fast. It was
Yeah,
kind of interesting
yeah,
about
I
that.
thought that was odd, too.
That was kind of odd because
He was on the hands team and recovered the first onside kick, which surprising to me that he's on the hands team because
Yeah.
I've seen him not come up with interceptions over the last two
Yeah,
seasons.
and he came up with a great snag,
snag, yeah.
even though he did bobble just slightly, but that was a hard one to get. That's
Yep.
a really hard ball to catch. So that was great on his part.
Perfect special teams today.
Yeah, very good special teams. I mean, we fair caught every kickoff, which I'm fine with. They attempted to run several out and never got to the
They muffed a
25-yard
punt.
line.
You called it. You
They
said
muffed one.
we're going to get a fumble.
Yeah,
but then
we didn't get the
he
recovery.
fumbled it to himself.
So that was good and good kick coverage.
Oh, the punter dropped the ball.
The punter dropped the ball, but got it off clean. Good job by
Still
him.
got decent
keeping his
yardage on it, too.
composure. Yeah. Yeah, real good special teams play all around. Not disappointed in that at all. Just really disappointment in the offense. The offensive line, so we had some again, the injury problem is plaguing us, but we were able to, I think, sustain some pretty good run blocking there towards the second half, which was critical, obviously, but it's just frustrating that we can't put together an offensive line that can consistently get us the protections we need. There is pressure on Mateer, so to give him a little bit of grace on that, he is getting a lot
you
of
started
pressure.
in a tough environment against an okay defense, a true freshman at left tackle, EPL's a true sophomore at left guard, and then you had a true freshman in Ryan Foje at right tackle making his second start.
Right.
And to kind of bully them in the majority of the second half running the ball was impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was play calling or if it was just them getting off the ball better.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, it seemed to work. And 7 yards of carry for Robinson without the home run that he hit last week.
Right.
That's just super steady.
I mean, one pretty long run, but yeah.
I mean, we're thrilled if you got a guy finishing at 5 or 5.5 yards of carry.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you'll take that all day long.
Well, and take
when
that
you're
one long run away, he's probably still at 5.5.
When you're talking, would you have 7.2? 7.2. I mean, that's fantastic.
So,
and that guy's a true sophomore.
And you mentioned how they seem to be getting injured every time we ran the football.
Yeah, in the first half.
And obviously that helped us.
Yeah.
They
kept showing their defensive ends were going out.
It was good to see the
all on running plays
breaking our way. Yeah, that was really nice.
Mateer running the ball looked better this game. He looked more like he did the first couple, as far as picking some good spots to just take what he can get.
Not as jumpy
and 4 to 6 yards.
Kind of go
because you're moving the ball.
Yeah.
And anything that's not going backwards with this offense is good.
Absolutely is good. So another guy to highlight, because he was hometown or home state guy playing, was Wine. And he did just tremendous filling in as when R. Mason Thomas goes out. That was just, I mean, he had how many tackles? He was like a bunch of tackles.
I mean, PJ had a great tackle for loss on a run play. It was good to see him getting in there and making a little bit of a difference. Heineke led with 13 tackles, Kip Lewis 10, RSJ 8. Wine, where'd he end up? I don't see any Wine tackles on here.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, there it is, 2. Only 2 tackles.
2?
Yep.
He seemed like he was in on a lot more plays than that.
Yeah.
He was definitely making a difference. He was definitely giving a lot of pressure. A lot of times in that position, that's the key, is you're giving pressure and somebody else is getting the tackle.
Yeah.
So really nice play out of the defense. I mean, we held a very good offense.
I mean, Mateer had 80 rushing yards.
That was a career high for him.
5 yards of carry.
Wow. Okay. That was effective rushing.
22 was his long, and then Robinson had a 43-yarder.
Yeah, that was the one at the end of the game.
That one was
That
a
he
43
stopped. Yeah.
that he stopped on the one.
So are we getting to a point where we're figuring out, I mean, this is.
Robinson started, and we talked about that in the
Yeah,
pod,
yeah.
midweek pod.
I mean, we saw some things like that develop throughout the game, but really it's the second half of this game. So maybe it's just a really small sample we can't draw conclusions off of. But are we getting to a point we found our rhythm of what we can do on offense and what we need to do?
I mean, until they do the stupid tricky stuff
Yes,
to go away from it.
Yeah.
If you can run it, if you can play Big Ten football in the SEC,
Uh-huh.
where you run on first down, you pick up 4 yards, you run on second down, you pick up 3 or 4 yards, and it's third and
Pass when
2,
you
third
have
and
to.
3, you can pick and choose and keep the defense on their toes on
Mhm.
if you're going to try to throw the 6-yard out route to get the first down,
Right.
or just try to punch it up the middle for the 3-yard gain to get the first down, or have a running back blocking ahead for Mateer to kind of wildcat it. Essentially, I mean, it's a quarterback running, but
Right.
Just him with the extra blocker getting a lead block and picking and choosing where he wants to try to pick up the first down on third down.
Yeah. I like that. I like that approach. I mean, I don't like Big Ten football, but I like the fact that we may be finding what works for us, and it might be an offense that's Big Ten football.
Yeah.
In the SEC, it's just, and we've always said with our defense, we just have to be good enough.
Yeah.
We obviously we want to be better, but if we're just good enough, we can get to the point where we're winning a lot of games, and we're 7-2 right now. We're in the driver's seat to put ourselves into the playoff.
We've talked about if we could just get 31 points.
Yes.
Then there's not very many teams out there that are going to beat us.
Mm-mm. I mean, we held a great offense to 27.
And we scored 26 offensively.
Right. Right.
So
right.
The stupid score was literally the difference in losing this game 27-26.
True. and obviously
And
the
that's with
second half
4
offense
field
was
goals.
better than the first. So the first, you're not expecting
Yeah.
to score more than 3.
If
with
you
that
can
kind
put
of
a complete game together
Mhm.
against Bama,
Yeah.
if we played our A game and Bama plays their B game, that's a neck and neck to me,
Oh, absolutely.
especially on the road.
Yeah,
So
yeah, on the road.
You play a complete game and Bama just misses a little bit, you can
Mhm.
beat them.
Yep.
I don't think we will, but we got a couple more pods to go between now and then.
That'll be
Just
interesting to see
on
what
the
that
midweek,
line
stuff
comes
like
out
that.
at. Let's get an early prediction. What do you think the line will be?
It's too early to predict because they play another game next week, I think.
It's not too early to predict. It's just
So
it'll change.
because we have a bye week coming
Never
up.
too early to predict.
I'm gonna say Bama.
Not how predictions work.
I'm gonna say Bama's a 7.5 point.
Ooh, I was gonna say 6.5.
I was gonna say 5.5.
5.5 from the stats boy.
I don't know who they play next week because they had a bye today, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's particularly hard.
You don't think it's
If I
particularly hard?
remember.
Is it the
seeing-
real soft one? Did they get the softie?
I don't know.
Mercer State, Southwest Mercer State. So
Let's see. Bama plays LSU next Saturday
interesting
in
game.
Tuscaloosa.
And they did have the bye today, right?
Yeah, they had a
Yes.
bye today.
And so last
So they get a
week-
night game, 6:30 ABC against LSU next week. And then we are the flex against Bama. We are either the 3:30 to 4:30 game or the 6 to 8 Eastern start. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were the 6:30 game.
Me
again.
too. I agree. Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
7.
With
I
the
don't
way
know.
some things have
Maybe
changed.
after the time change, they maybe do 7 o'clock instead of 6:30 kickoffs.
Yeah, maybe I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. Time changes tonight. We get an extra hour.
Is it tonight?
Extra hour sleep.
Yep.
I think so.
Wow.
Congrats.
Nice.
You got a
Congratulations,
free hour you
everybody.
know about.
Jay needs it.
Yeah.
Jay definitely.
Jay's getting it early.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would bet that we are with the way that things have broken kind of strange in college football.
It's all going to depend on what they do against LSU.
Yeah.
If
Well,
it's
yeah.
a super close game,
I just
then our
mean,
game might
what
be
el-
4.5.
I just don't know what other games are going on that weekend.
It might be-
actually are important. Whereas we looked at them on the schedule 5 weeks ago and we said, "Oh, look at that match."
I'm just saying total wise or line wise.
Mm-hmm.
If they play LSU and it's super close, then maybe we come in as a
Yeah.
4.5 point underdog. But if they beat LSU by 2 or 3 touchdowns, then
Mm-hmm.
Bama's going to be a bigger favorite against us. So that's
I like
7.5.
us being a dog from the standpoint of it gives us every reason after a big victory like this to keep our
Head on our
focus.
shoulders, yeah.
It's probably the best game to have out of the bye week and out of a victory like this, because if you have a Missouri that's kind of almost a trap game coming off this victory where you just are lapsadaisical.
Yeah.
We need the time to get healthy. So the bye week is going to work really good for us. It timed out great, unfortunately, because we've got some injuries. Hopefully we see with our Mason Thomas that he's just, I mean, man, I hope it's nothing serious because
It looked like a hamstring.
mm,
I think that's what they said on
that's
the
what they
sideline.
said. Yeah.
That could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 5, 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it
really
all
could.
depends.
And that's just unfortunate for
And that's a
the kid.
bad injury for a guy that likes to like
To burst.
blow off
Yeah.
the ball, like
He's so
accelerate.
good too.
Yeah.
Um,
We didn't have the closer
See
today,
it.
and we still closed.
and we still closed. That was great to see. So
we got good pressure. I mean,
we did have really good.
Aguilar
pressure.
had a few plays that he had time to throw, but some of those that he was just the one PI there at the end.
Mhm.
He was just throwing it up for grabs because he had somebody in his face.
Yeah. Now he missed one. We can't overlook the fact that we looked a little exposed over the middle
Yeah.
multiple times, especially deep. One of them dropped
like
out of his
15 to
hand.
20-yard range.
What was the one? I mean, it would have been a touchdown, but did they settle for a field goal on that one where he drops it?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we go up and we make a swipe at the ball, but we're off of it and we're not interfering.
That was the
with
next.
ball.
That was the drive that they got their last field goal.
Exactly. And
So
so
the second onside kick.
that the guy just drops the football.
And then
we had a
also-
couple just pure drops that I don't want to forget about that are just
Also on the
bad. We got to
TV
catch the
coverage,
football.
We kicked the ball off, and next thing we know, they're starting at the 40.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't know what happened. I don't know if we got a 15-yard penalty on celebrating a touchdown or if it was on the extra point or
Bad
what.
on ABC and the whole crew for not
Yeah, I don't know.
telling us what
I
happened.
just looked up and it's like, why do they have
No
the ball on their
explanation.
40? And then next thing I know, 3 plays later, because we've got the middle's completely wide open because we're playing the sidelines,
Right.
so they can't stop the clock.
Right.
You're giving them 15 yards over the middle wide open, and that guy's running for another 10 before he gets tackled. And then the next play, it's like
I don't know if they're
20-yard
that
plays
much.
over and over and over.
I don't know,
Well, they went from the
20
40 down to the 20 in 3 plays.
I mean,
mean,
yeah. I mean, they
it was-
were long plays, but
it was
I don't
too
know.
many.
I think it was like 13-yard plays or something.
That's,
But
yeah, whatever.
regardless, they were
Too
getting
many.
first downs.
But I understand you're protecting the sideline.
Sure,
But also at that point,
they're making them nickel and dime.
you could have rushed 3 on that situation.
Right, and
had
dropped
2
back.
guys in the middle,
I agree.
and then everybody else
I
protecting the
agree.
sidelines.
I agree. I think that would have been a little smarter. I thought they got out
At
of
that
sorts.
point, you're just trying to make them burn the clock.
right.
And then
And you say you're not beating me
Hope-
deep. You're
right.
going to have to get it.
you're going to have to get the
Yeah,
second
exactly.
onside kick.
Yeah,
You're-
exactly.
You're going to score probably, but you can make a mistake and we can get the ball, or you have to get the onside.
And
kick.
a great job covering the onside kick, as we mentioned.
Yep.
So great, like in every critical moment, we did the great thing. So this is, like I said at the top, this is Brent Venables' biggest victory. Or I may have said it in the immediate reaction. I'm not going to say it at the top, but his
I mean,
biggest
the
victory.
Gabriel Texas game is pretty huge. We went 10-2 that season, and that kind of catapulted
Yeah,
that team. I
It
feel
was,
like.
but I think this is
that was a Big
victory.
12.
This is a bigger victory.
Yeah, I mean,
For
he's
Brent,
if you lose this
especially-
game, you're on the hot seat, hardcore.
I don't know
right?
about hardcore hot.
Well, depending on how the last 4 games
Yeah.
have gone,
You, yeah,
if you would have started with a loss and then
Yeah,
lost to
yeah.
Bama,
Yeah.
and then who knows what happens those
You have
last 2
two
games.
paths, and if you lose, you're on the path that could lead to
You could have finished
Really,
6-6.
not just
Awesome.
not just hot seat, but gone.
Yeah.
And now, I would say his probability of being coach come August next year is really high.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be very hard for it not to
Because
be.
even if you lose to Bama and then you don't
Somehow.
win the last 2,
Yeah,
and you go 8-4, you're disappointed that you didn't at least go 9-3, but you're still showing improvement. And then, like you did on your article that you wrote for Substack,
Mhm.
everybody should go check out, like and subscribe, all that
That's right.
kind of stuff. That this is a bad time to be looking for a coach. And
Yeah.
today, Auburn
Even
loses
worse.
again.
Yes.
So
Oh my
Auburn
God.
can be open, which they don't compare to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But Auburn, Florida State blew out Wake Forest. I still don't think that guy saved his job.
I don't think so either.
It's unless they're in the same situation where they're like, Florida's open, LSU's
Miami might be open,
Miami had a bad loss today. They're still
and they're
sticking to-
horrible.
or
7-2.
7-2s.
No,
I don't know how many games
they're 6-3, aren't they?
That was their second
Are
one.
they
That
7
was their second loss.
Okay,
So I don't think if they win out, they're not going to fire him.
no.
But he'll
It
might
was
be
just
on
their
the hot
second
seat.
loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Louisville was their other loss.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, but
Good
2 in a
job for
row.
saying it correctly, Louisville.
Yeah. So you've got a team like Nebraska that just gave an extension to Rule, and they are like whatever the stat was, I can't remember what it was, like 1 and
0 and
whatever,
30.
1 and 30 against
0 and
top
30
25 teams,
since
or 0
like-
and 30, yeah.
Yeah, since like
Just
2015 or
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, going all the way back before.
Lincoln might have preserved his job.
Oh yeah. No, I think Lincoln's safe.
Yeah.
I don't think Lincoln.
I think
was
if they'd have
at
gone
risk.
7-5 or 8-4,
Yeah.
he could have lost.
He
his
could
job.
have lost his job, not now. And he's got a couple of what should be victories ahead of him, and at least one, maybe two, what should be losses in front of him. Depends on what you say.
And we know that he wouldn't take an SEC job because he was scared.
Right, he's a
So
big
he
baby.
wouldn't gone to LSU. He wouldn't be taking an Auburn job. He wouldn't be
He'd
taking
take
an
a
Arkansas
Florida
job,
job.
but not taking a Florida job because he's scared of the SEC. So that leaves
No,
Penn
he's just
State.
kind of
which
he's
he
just
would
got to
take at
stay
Penn
right
State.
there, and
Yeah.
he's not going to make a lateral.
Dion's
like
on the
that.
hot seat.
Yeah,
I would imagine they got absolutely destroyed by Arizona. My one lock of the week that turned out.
which is no shock. Like anyone who Colorado, I mean, I know you guys are all smoking marijuana, so
They beat TCU the
you're
very
brain
first
dead.
game coming off the national championship loss.
And you crowned yourself.
Yep.
And that was it. And like you retired 2 jerseys from one guy who was really good and another guy who was mediocre.
Yep.
And it just you got caught up in your own smoke. It was so ridiculous.
Yep.
It was so obvious how. I mean, I tell you what's frustrating about it is you had chances to get signature wins like against USC a couple of years ago, and you just blew it and couldn't get it done. So yeah, I think if you're a serious football fan at Colorado, you got to be looking at it saying, we got to find another guy for the job.
I don't think there are serious football fans.
No, I don't think they are too. I don't think they are.
We've gone to games there.
Yeah, they're not serious.
They're not
in
there.
the
They're just there for the party.
Absolutely.
So
it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, and we'll talk about this in the midweek. We're going to have a lot of off week time to talk about these things, but we've got college football playoff kind of really coming together. Who's a contender? Who's not? What teams out of every conference really are playing for their conference title and contending for it? The SEC, I'm not going to say it's wide open, but it's fairly open.
Texas had a big win today.
God, they had a big win.
I mean,
uh,
Arch playing was huge for them.
Yeah.
He went, I think he was like 28 of 33 for
yeah, he played real well.
360 something and
He
3
played well.
touchdowns. I mean, he looked really good today.
And Vanderbilt still had a chance down the stretch.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
They had
Yeah,
they were
couldn't
down
get it done.
21 in the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
I think, or something, or scored 21 in the fourth
Great
quarter.
job.
Crazy.
Great job coming back on them. Missed, just
Georgia
just
pulled
missed
one
the
out.
onside kick. It falls out of their hands. Yeah, Georgia should have lost to Florida, and then they pull it out.
Kentucky comes back and beats Arkansas.
Yeah, a couple
was-
of programs that are just going sideways in the
What was
SEC.
Mississippi
Carolina?
State came back and beat Arkansas.
Mississippi came back big arse.
Kentucky
Right.
had a dogfight
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Kentucky-
dogfight 10-3.
Yeah, it's in
That
the
was-
3,
yeah.
whatever that is. They say.
Well, who does South Carolina play today?
South Carolina lost to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole
Yeah.
Miss, yeah. So Ole Miss is a playoff team. Bama's a playoff team. Georgia's probably a playoff team. That's 3. Texas is probably a playoff team.
Mm. Contender.
Well, Texas has Georgia
OU.
contender. But Texas still has
Alabama.
A&M.
Georgia and A&M.
A&M.
So Texas has to.
Yeah.
I saw the schedules the other day, and they show the top 25 toughest schedules in the country, or no, they show the top 25 ranked teams.
Yeah.
And what their schedule ranking was, and ours was 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Texas's was 5, and we gave them
Yeah.
all the crap about.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's what's left on
and
the
they,
schedule.
yeah, that was what was left on the schedule.
Right.
They did have the easier SEC schedule by far than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Vanderbilt being better than we thought they were.
Right.
A&M's better than we thought they were.
Yeah.
Georgia's on line where we thought. So us having Missouri left, without a quarterback maybe
Right.
helps. LSU being in disarray, their offense stinks.
That helps. Alabama's very good.
Yeah. So coming into the
Well, looking at
you
just
got probably A&M's
Oh,
a playoff
you're
team.
looking at 7 contenders out of the SEC for sure. Legit contenders.
for
Now,
probably 4, maybe 5 spots.
there will be some self-elimination to
Yeah.
a degree. Now, Texas can't eliminate A&M most likely, but A&M can eliminate Texas. And so there's other ones like that. So
It's gonna be
coming
wild if
in-
you've got like 6, 9, and 3 SEC.
Oh, I know. Coming into this week, by the ESPN playoff predictor, we were slightly behind Texas in the probability. This victory will put us, I'm sure, ahead of Texas, although they've won as well. But because of who we have left, or we'll be neck and neck with them. So that's pretty interesting.
Who do they have besides? Oh, they got Arkansas. So they have Georgia, Arkansas, and A&M left.
Yeah,
Which
so-
they'll beat Arkansas.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
most likely they'll beat Arkansas.
They've got 2
Well,
wins this
not
season.
according to Jay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to play Arkansas.
Yeah, Jay said
That's
he'd be
not what he
more
said.
scared to be play
Not what he
to play
said. I'm
Arkansas
defending.
than
He's asleep.
Missouri.
I'll defend him. No, that's not what he said. He said, yeah, but
That's
most
what
of
he
the reason was that you don't get any credit for beating Arkansas.
And I said credit doesn't matter. Wins are what matters.
Wins matter, but credit matter. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
For getting in the playoff, all that matters is wins. For recruits and other things,
Yeah.
credit matters. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this whole thing shakes out with these different teams and the SEC in particular. I do feel like we'll be in a position where we're sitting there saying the SEC is not getting enough respect. We deserve to have more teams in, and that may be if we get 5 teams in, we probably deserve to have 6.
I mean, at this point, what does the Big Ten have? Oregon's got a good shot. USC, Ohio State, of course. Penn State's out of it. Nebraska's out of it.
Michigan's out of it.
Indiana.
Indiana.
So they've got four legit.
Contenders.
Michigan, what are they have 2 losses now, or do they have 3?
They barely beat Purdue
They're at
today.
2.
2 losses
2 losses
with Ohio State.
With
with Ohio State.
USC has Oregon left on the schedule and a scary Iowa team
Yeah,
who's been playing pretty good football.
I mean, you got two at the top, Ohio State and Indiana, and then you've got 2 other contenders that could easily slip out of
Oregon,
contention.
USC, yeah.
Oregon and USC, and maybe Michigan.
Yeah.
So it's
So
weaker.
if you go 4 SEC teams and 3 Big Ten teams, that's 7. 1 at large, you're at 8. That leaves 4 teams between
You're not going to get
Big
ACC
12
and Big
and
12.
ACC.
No,
The
give another one to the
Big
SEC.
12 can still get 2 teams in.
They shouldn't.
BYU
really hard.
would be deserving if they end up with 1 or 2 losses. Texas Tech,
Maybe. I don't know.
Texas
I don't know
Tech.
if I agree with that.
those 2
Next
teams.
weekend's
A
game.
10, a 10
That's
and
next
2,
weekend's game.
a 10 and 2 Big 12 team is not automatic in
Over
my
a 9
mind
and 3
to
SEC.
get in, huh?
Over a 9 and
Over
3
a 9 and
SEC.
3 SEC. Yeah, I don't think they did from a deserved
That may
yes.
come to politicking.
Mhm.
It may be the Big 12's.
Well, I'm
like,
just saying from the
hey,
standpoint of who deserves what.
we're getting screwed,
Yes.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
And we got screwed last
The
year
ACC,
as a conference.
I mean, Miami just got their 2nd loss. They got a chance to get a 3rd.
Georgia Tech lost today.
Georgia Tech lost
Yeah.
today.
Virginia, I think
Virginia
there's still
looked-
one loss.
They beat Cal.
Yeah,
Virginia was
Virginia,
good.
You might, I mean, the problem is
It could be like last
they're
year.
in their damn league
Well, one
and their league
a
sucks.
team that doesn't deserve to be in the playoff wins the title game.
Right.
And
It
then
could
they
be that.
the other team, which last year was SMU, that had a really good record, got in
Mhm.
over a 9-3 Bama, LSU, or 9-3
Ole Miss,
Bama, Ole Miss, and
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
Well, we're gonna have to look at the 1 through 12 though, because it's the 1 through 12 that really matters.
Yeah.
And by the end of the
That large
season,
one's gonna be tough because
it's gonna be
there's
really
not a good at large.
There's really not. There's a lot of
Everybody's
teams
lost.
that are they're
North Texas is
okay.
probably the best at large.
Memphis.
Memphis,
Yeah,
Memphis,
Memphis, where's South Florida in today?
now they're out of it now. I think they
They
got
have 3 losses.
They have 2.
the 2.
They had 2.
And one was to Memphis.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, there's nobody that's out there in the old Boise State realm who is just running an undefeated season, and we should just be impressed by them because 11-0 against nobody.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of football to be played. Sooners are in the mix for all of it. It's awesome the fact that we are still in contention of everything
We're going
because
into
of
bye
this
week after a
victory.
great victory.
God, it just
That's
it
the
feels
best
so
feeling.
good.
Yeah.
It is so
I'm
good.
not gonna be all homerish and think we're gonna go, 10-2,
10-2, baby.
make the SEC title. I'm
10-2.
not there.
It's done.
If we beat Bama, then yeah, maybe. But just the fact that
If
we're
we beat
going
Bama.
into a bye week after a good victory, we get to chill next weekend and just watch football.
Some of us are going to the lake.
No stress. Some of us are gonna go.
I'm
to
not
the lake
going. I wasn't invited.
and hang out. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be awesome to see the Sooners make this run. They beat Alabama. If they beat Alabama, 10-2 is really on the table.
It would
Because
be
if
at that
they're
point.
good enough to do that,
More than on the table.
then you're looking at 2 very.
Alabama is an amazing team.
I don't know about that, but they're a very good team.
They're very good.
And if you can win against a very good team in their home environment, and you come to your home environment against what we've seen about Missouri and their injury situation, and then LSU and their disarray, it's looking really strong. We'll have to start seriously looking at, can we get into the SEC title?
Yeah.
at that
I
point.
mean, it'd be a lot like, at that point, since there's no divisions.
Right.
I mean, if you finish 10-2, depending on how the tiebreakers work out and what A&M does, you could look at an OU A&M at SEC.
We may not be
something
in a
like that.
tiebreaker against A&M. They may be the number one.
That's what I'm
seed.
saying.
Yeah.
They'd
You're looking
be
for
us and
Georgia
them,
or
yeah.
whatever.
It'd
Yeah.
it'd probably be Georgia.
Georgia would be the
Assuming they beat Texas, we knock
Right.
out Bama,
right.
we would be Ole Miss, I guess.
Yeah. Ole
Would
Miss,
be-
and they have the head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting for
They still have to
sure.
play Georgia, don't they?
Oh, maybe they do.
Yeah.
That might be.
I bet they
No,
do.
no.
They done?
They already played.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things in front of us.
Yep.
And it's pretty exciting, but I just love the fact that we got the victory today. That's awesome. And we're going to a bye week as winners. Thank you to Tobacco Exchange. And thank you for you, the listeners. Until next time, Boomer.
Sooner.